Good evening, everybody. This is your Commander of Starfleet here. I am joined with Commodore Derek Sauls, Chapter CO of the USS Indiana out of Region 1. How are you today, sir?
Outstanding, sir.
Outstanding. So, for everybody that don't know, a lot of us are affected with the COVID-19 lockdown. And we also have to remember we have a lot of older folks that can't get out and do anything. And I got an email today that I thought really touched what we as an organization and we as a fan group and as friends, that was a great idea. So I asked Derek Sauls to come on, talk about what he has, what the ideal is, and see if we can put a call to action out there to any other CO that isn't in a position to actually assist. So Derek, the floor is with yours, sir.
Well, I didn't want to float this as entirely my idea. Let's talk for a minute about my chapter's XO, or as we say, first officer. This woman has a PhD. Her name is Tracy Canfield, and it was her idea originally a few weeks ago. It sounds like a rainstorm in here. I can anyway. She floated this idea to me, and I was kind of like, But as she kept talking about it, new details started to emerge, and so I decided to go a little bit further and put myself out there and put not just me, but my first officer and my second officer, Bill Gray, also as resources in the Indianapolis area for those of our members who may not have been able to get out of the house because they're sick or they have kids at home, they can't pack everybody in the car, or it's dangerous to leave, or whatever. So this idea of putting ourselves out there as resources to our chapter members has kind of like three parts to it. One, keep the communication going. Check in with your people, especially the older people. I have a 68-year-old member in Louisville, Kentucky. I have a 60-year-old member here in Indianapolis who, they're staying at home, but either they are retired or they can't work, and they're not invalids. I mean, they're mobile people, but still, it's not a good idea for them to be going around and walking around the Kroger trying to get groceries. So I told them in this email, I said, Starfleet says, family first, and who's our second most close family? It's our Starfleet members, especially those of us who are COs and first officers of chapters. I have 45 people who I try to keep tabs on. Some of them don't want to talk to me, but there are some of them that do. And I wanted to let everybody know with this email that if they needed help, I would help them. I'm not rich, but I am mobile. I'm an essential worker. I can come and go pretty much as I please for now. But if somebody needed me to go pick up a meal for their family at a drive-thru, if somebody needed me to go pick up a prescription, pick up the phone, call your pharmacy, arrange it, I'll go pick it up for you and drop it at your house. I'm not going to walk in your house. I don't want to endanger your family, but I will drop it by your house. I don't care where you live as long as I can get there, in a vehicle. And I'm willing to burn my own gas and time and do this because what else am I to do? So that's the second part, is being willing to go out there and do these little things for your chapter members who can't or find it difficult or invalids or whatever. So, and another part of that is that if you're broke and you can't buy groceries, because this thing, some people can't work because
it's affected a lot of people. I know that here that they have decided to close the movie theater, and it just put out like 100 people that's lost their job because of it. So it's pretty bad.
But anyway, I agonized over this level of putting myself out there. But I told him, I said, if you're broke, then call me, and we can. I can help a little bit. I can buy you some groceries. And I'll do it. And then the third part is, for those who like rewards and awards and stuff like that, there is an awards thing. We have a point-based system in my chapter, and we award points for various activities within fandom, but this will be something new. We go beyond points, and our first officer has an embroidery. Excuse me, just had a sandwich. And she's
Lucky.
She's going to make patches, embroidered patches. 3 different designs. We haven't finalized the design yet, but and we're still working on the criteria to earn those patches. But so basically, it's a 3-pronged plan, and I'm really grateful to my first officer. I'm really grateful to my second officer, because they've been saying, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" Basically, what are your orders? And I'm like, well, I'll do whatever I can. So I felt that was what I could do, was to put myself out there. And I hope if you have the wherewithal to do so, I hope you see chapter CEOs out there who like me truly love some of your members, and want to be part of that ethos, that let me help ethos, that we here in Rating One like to hold up to the world. Then this is the prime way to do that, especially in this trying time.
Yes, and like everybody, like we have all, like I have said numerous times, for the people that has not met me, Derek has met me. I've always said that Star Trek, Starfleet, we are a family. The important thing is we are all in this together. Starfleet is in this to all of us. It's affecting us planet wide, and COs like Derek is exactly what I meant by putting your members first. Members always should be first, and I hope that we get some. COs to follow in Derek's footsteps. They're big shoes to fill, but it's okay. This is one of the things that I wanted to make sure that people heard, because this is important. This is affecting a lot of people.
But don't get me wrong. This is a terrifying step.
Yes.
If you don't know your members, and if that new guy that just joined last week calls you and wants help, and he turns out to be a dirtbag, I'm just saying it happens. We've all met the Star Trek fan that's a little more extreme than your, no otter duck, type of person. I'm just saying, be available, but be careful.
Yes.
I know a great many people in my chapter. I've met almost everybody, and I've certainly talked with every one of them, at least in the email, but I've got some some newer people that I've never met, and I want to hope that they wouldn't squander this opportunity or abuse our goodwill, because I'm ready to roll. I've got volunteers among my chapter who called me and they said, "Hey, sign me up, put me in, coach," and I was like, "Great, and if I call you, it's time to roll, Go pick up that prescription and go take it down south to to Greenwood and stuff like that." And because our Indianapolis is not a huge city, but it's a big one. And
it is.
All over.
Especially if you don't know anything about Indianapolis. I drove through there, and it is definitely. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm having technical difficulties. Anyways. But like I said, us as Starfleet members, we are a family. That's the important thing. And this is outstanding. I'm glad to see that we have COs like this, and I hope that we get more COs follow suit. Obviously, I'm not now. Please, because I know there will be somebody later will post on it. This is not an order from the Commander of Starfleet. I'm not saying this.
Count on it.
But this is news. This is Starfleet news that affects our members. And this CO is stepping up on his own time and his own dime, and he's not getting paid. He's not receiving donations. But he is actually effectively doing what we had wanted to do, as in putting members first. So, Derek, I appreciate you, sir. You are definitely you're leading the region first, and I mean this makes I can tell you right now that it definitely touched the executive committee. That we all loved how we seen this.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Once again, I'm honored to be here. I did want to really quickly touch on a fourth part of this.
Okay.
I'm not a correspondence chapter, but I know that there are many correspondence chapters out there, and you can have people as far away. For example, I have a member in France. I have a member in Montana. I have 2 members down in Florida. I have one 2 hours away from here who is elderly in Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Those remote members, if they need help, that's where this interconnectivity between our different chapters and our different regions can come in a bigger way. And if I call on USS Draconia in Louisville, for example, to check on my elderly member who lives in the same city as them, they can certainly get there a lot faster than I can. If I were to call on USS White Horse, White Stallion, I forgot the name of it, out there, it's closer to Montana than I'll ever be,
Uh-huh.
Am I going to be able to do that and maybe prevail upon them to help my member out if I needed to, that sort of thing. So these remote members, not just the local ones, who may need help,
Yeah.
it may be a thing too. So we may have to rely on other chapters to see if, and to take care of ourselves. So I'm just saying we've got it's a framework of a plan, and we're ready to implement it, but thank goodness nothing has happened yet. But trying times may be ahead, Steve, and I want to be there.
Yeah, and see, this is important. We rather have a plan in place and people ready to go than something drastic happens. We're sitting there with our hands in the air. So what are we going to do? So I challenge other COs out there. Try, if you can, if you or your chapter can, and follow suit. Follow in Derek's footsteps. If you guys have questions, I'm sure Derek will be 100% available. He's always been there when I had questions. He's a very friendly person. But I challenge the other COs out there, if you can do this and you're able to, and you got to look as good looking to him, because obviously I'm waiting for a comment from my friend Jay. He always seems to think that everybody in Starfleet Command has to have a beard or at least a goatee. I don't know. But I do challenge everybody. If you guys are physically able to help, like the USS Constellation, I've got members all across the United States, and I even have an international member. If I have members in there, I can almost vouch and tell you that my members on the flagship of the fleet will be stepping up and would be glad to go and check on people. So I challenge everybody to try to do this. Get with Derek if you guys have questions. Let him know, and Derek, anything that the executive committee or my staff can do, please let us know. We'll get it out there. We'll bring you back on once you get more stuff going. And we'll do everything we can, because I agree with our membership. We have to check, and I mean, it's just as simple as pick up a phone call and say, "Hey, how you doing? Are you okay?" But it just takes a few seconds to check on somebody. You'd be amazed for somebody that's going through a really hard time and might be depressed because what's going on. That friendly phone call from their chapter member might put them in a better mood. So I do challenge everybody, if you can follow suit. If you have questions, I'm sure Derek will be glad to answer.
All right. USS Indiana is my chapter. I'm in Region 1, Indianapolis. Do I need a floated email address or anything? I
tell you what, I'll put it out here right now for you.
Okay. David Chapman just called in with that very same point you just made. If they don't need anything physical or anything brought to them, at least check in with your member who might be going a little bonkers in their house by now.
Yeah. What's your? Send me your email in the private message so I can copy and paste it. Could you?
Yes, sir.
You ain't got to call me, sir. You can just call me Steve. Come on, Derek. So, like I said, everybody, this call to action, if you can physically help, it would mean a lot just to even picking up the phone and calling and checking on somebody. That's why I do these podcasts, these live streams. I like to get people involved, just to check on them and say, hey, how's it going? We'll talk about Trek. We'll talk about this. I do have another person that's actually waiting to come on, too. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to put this... Oh, if it'll let me, hang on.
That email address came through on Facebook Messenger.
Okay. Come on now. Ever since I let my daughter do her homework on my computer's been really slow.
Hey, bless you parents and who are helping your kids do the e-learning. I tried to do it with my grandkids, and and that was not super easy because we didn't have a super, it hadn't formed up into a great, you know, smooth process at that time. So it's much easier now that they know what they're doing, and the seat and the teacher, you know, their teacher's more communicative. But at that time, they were like, "Oh, just do it." It's like, no.
Well, like my 14-year-old son, he's doing his e-learning from his smartphone, and he'll sit there and he's doing his math questions, and I don't know, it's awesome.
You got way better eyes than I do.
Exactly. So below is Derek's email at co.ussindiana@gmail.com. If you have questions, if you, as a correspondence member, if you can help, if you can do this, if you have an idea, get with Derek. Derek, as you know, I'd like to touch base with you again, probably about a week or two, and see how it's going. Bring you back on, see how everything's going. But again, people, this is important. I mean, we're going through a pandemic right now, and it's affected a lot of people. So we hope that we can get everybody come on. And also, if you guys have not joined the USS Indiana Facebook page, they have movie night and discussion. They have one tonight at
one tonight, yeah.
And I hope to be there. And it's always a fun time with the USS Indiana crew. So, Derek, thank you for coming on. Thank you for explaining what you had an idea, and I hope to see you on CS Live again.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody, we are Starfleet Strong.
Exactly. You have a good night, sir.
Good night.
All right, I'm going to bring on my next guest. It's going to be his name, no introduction. A lot of people know him as Harbinger. The Marines know him as a pain in the butt. I know him as a pain in the butt. He's always up for a good laugh. I see him clapping right now in the back studio on my thing. I'm going to be bringing on Colonel Brian Dedamore, Colonel Brian Harbinger Dedamore. He's the DOIC, acting DOIC of the 1st Brigade. So we'll bring him on. He's going to talk a little bit about the 1st Brigade, what they got going on, and everybody out there that has not seen Brian Dedamore, we'll get ready for a show. Good evening and welcome. Kapla! So everybody, this is Colonel Brian Harbinger Dedamore. He's the acting DOIC. Is it acting or do they confirm it?
It is acting until after 13 grateful status.
All right. So you might want to speak get a little closer to your phone so we can hear you a little bit better. You were a little off.
How's that?
There you go. So Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do in Fleet, how long you've been in Fleet, how often do you shave that mop of a beard that looks kind of bad?
Oh, you got room to talk there, Bubba. I'm sorry, this phone camera's screwing on down, so bear with me. So, I've been in Fleet. I've been around for a very long time. So right now I'm also the current CEO of the USS Fort Collins, another Indiana ship. And I cover everything north of Indianapolis. Well, I cover Indianapolis and north of Indianapolis. I have people in Chicago and Marion, Indiana, and I also have people in Ingalls and did I just get knocked out? But I'm also the DOIC of 1st Brigade. So I come on tonight to have people ask me questions of what's going on with the brigade tonight.
Again. So tell us a little bit about what you do. How did you get your call sign? Let's talk about that.
Well, I worked my tail off to get my Navy exams done, and Harbinger is defined as a messenger of a greater being, as an example. Jesus would be a Harbinger God. I use that as the best example. In my case, the 169 is mobile and fast. It is the Harbinger of an invading force, because our unit is a mecha unit. We use the AAFM mechas convertible to fighter to pirate to mecha. So we're using the first units on a planet to hold a landing zone while the rest of the ground forces land and assemble.
Hang on one second. I got some strange message. Okay, so I have a question that came in on my private chat for you. Where did you get the giant one on your beret?
How did I get it?
Where did you get it from?
I had it sewn on after I filed a request to have the flag, to have it sewn onto my flag. I went to an embroiderer and had it sewn on. Then I presented it to ForceCom for approval, and they approved it.
Gotcha. So, are you up to date on Discovery and
No.
Picard? You're not?
No, I do not pay to watch Star Trek.
Well, okay, well, let me explain something, too, because obviously you don't watch enough of my live stream, sir. So if you put in the code GIFT, G-I-R, my lord, see, the CS is really lit, F-T, you can get free on CBS All Access to watch all the Star Trek.
Yeah, but for how long?
Sir Patrick Stewart did it. As far as I know, I was not told of a time limit. So you can get on there and watch Discovery, and you can get on there and watch Picard.
I do not pay CBS for something that's up for free.
I understand. I understand. But you're missing a good thing.
Yeah, I won't deny that. I've heard a lot of people talking about it and everything. And yeah, I miss a lot of things, and because I don't pay CBS to watch Star Trek.
Well, like I said, everybody, you can sign up for CBS All Access. You can do the free account, put in the code name GIFT. It would give you, free access to watch anything, any of the Star Treks on there. Now, everybody, this is going to be a relatively short broadcast because, one, I just came back in from fire training, so I literally have my portable sitting here. I got dinner to cook for the kids, so I'm hoping Brian, we can get you back on again. If you're up later, we do have Starfleet After Dark. That's usually what we talk about. Hardcore Trek. We'll get on there and talk about Next Generation, the original series, Discovery, and so forth. So I hope to have you back, sir. And as always,
if I do late night, I'll have to be on the weekends because unfortunately, I'm not one of the people who's unemployed. I still have to do a good job.
Oh, you're fine. Look. Well, so everybody that does not know, the guy who down here is busting my chops is Vice Admiral J.L. Galloway. He's the fleet commander of Fleet 31. Good friend of mine of about 17 years. Too many years to count. But he is still a pain in my good friends in Ireland call it the arse. So he's a pain in my arse. And Jay, as always, it's always a pleasure to see you down here. Jason Tyranny, you can be my guest tonight too. I will also be having Les Rickard, former commander of Starfleet, come on, and we'll talk about different stuff, and we will go from there. And Brian, thank you for stepping up and coming on here. I look forward to hopefully having you back more often. Also, people, if you guys have, once this pandemic is over and the social distancing and the lockdown is done, if you guys have chapter meetings, I would love to do a live stream, stream with you guys, talking to your whole chapter, letting the fleet see how different chapters do stuff. And I've been to a meeting, I believe it was a Christmas meeting of yours, correct?
No, you were the last meeting you were at was the Brigade Muster.
At your house?
It was at Mike Park's house.
Okay, Mike Park's house, and it was a lot of fun. And this whole thing is we're supposed to have fun and be involved. So I hope to, once this lockdown is over, probably when this lockdown is over, I won't be doing as many live streams. But since we're all locked in, we can't really do much. We can have some fun. So as always, Brian,
Hey,
thank you.
Steve, I got a few things I do want to bring up for Brigade News.
Okay.
We have replaced all the Brigade OICs that have kids in them. I'll send you a list of their emails and who they are. Philip Cox was named the new OIC of 1st Brigade. He came in the middle of March. He asked me to stay on his staff until he can replace all the staff. That's why I'm at.
Yeah.
But I'm also working in Starfleet Marine Corps Academy. I'm the new director of one college there.
Okay.
I can't officially say right now because if I do, I get overswammed with questions. Shay wants me to kind of keep it on the low key for right now.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm bringing back one college that's shut down right now. I've been working hard on getting everything caught up and up to date on start opening up that college.
And now for everybody that's wondering, the college he's bringing back, and I'm sorry, I don't know why my camera froze up, but it is the College of Shaving. That's what his college is. So hopefully all of us that's got beards will take his class and be able to do it. David Chapman, I would love to have a Cooklin party. It would be awesome. So as always, Brian, thank you for coming on. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a short podcast. I will be back tonight with Starfleet After Dark, and we will discuss more in depth, and I hope to look forward to Jason Tyranny. Please send me a private message. I will send you the link later tonight to bring you on. We will be having Jason Tyranny. We'll have Les Rickard and a few other surprise guests. So, as always, Brian, thank you for stepping up and coming to the hot seat with the CS, and I hope you enjoy your evening, sir.
Oh, I will. Thank you. Call me whenever you want to put me back on the hot seat.
All right, brother. You have a good night.
Good night. You too.